Hey guys, it's Carrie. I'm coming to you from our Thomasville classroom, and today we're going to be talking about how do you meet your daily goals. Let's kind of go over some of the basic goals that I'm wanting you to make sure that you're meeting on a daily basis, and then we're going to talk about them a little bit further. But this is what we need to be doing. Okay, this is kind of our little checklist. We need to be getting 30 grams of fiber, 100 grams of protein, half of your body weight in ounces of water on a daily basis. 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil per day, 1 to 2 tablespoons of quinoa per day. Women, you're getting between 1150 and 1250 calories on a daily basis. Please make sure that you're getting enough calories. If you don't get enough calories, it actually puts your body into starvation mode. It will slow everything down, okay? So you've got to make sure that you get enough calories. Men, you're going between 14 and 1600 calories on a daily basis. And also, are you going caca on a daily basis? On week 2, we talked about caca and constipation, some things that may help you transition where you can have normal bowel movements on a daily basis, okay? So, let's talk about our checklist. On week 3, on your handouts, you were giving a checklist, and I recommend that you actually make copies of this. Put it on your refrigerator, put it by your food, whatever you're doing. So on a daily basis, you can check off and say, yes, I have done this, I have done this. Or you might look at that list and say, you know what, I've really struggled with not getting my water in or not getting my coconut oil in. So this is what your daily checklist should look like, okay? Are you starting your day with 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, okay? Are you starting your day with your vitamins and your minerals? Getting the proper supplements in your body is so important for this program. Remember, we're trying to create balance within the body. Are you drinking at least 80 ounces of water on a daily basis? Are you taking your drops? A lot of you on this program are doing the Cylinderize homeopathic drops, okay? Now, I will tell you, they work much better when you actually open the box and you take them the way they're supposed to, okay? I've had several people tell me they haven't started it yet. 30 grams of fiber. That would be like 2 apples, 1 shake, your psyllium husk, and whatever you eat. That's going to add up to the 30 grams of fiber on a daily basis. Eating, okay, so you want your heaviest meal to be at lunch, your medium meal should be at breakfast, and your lightest meal should be at dinner time. And the reason we say that is because at dinner time, shortly after, you're going to be sleeping, so you're not going to be burning a lot of calories. So if you can, focus on your heaviest meal being at lunchtime. And when that happens, you also find you're not as hungry at dinner time. Okay, so eating 1 tablespoon of quinoa on a daily basis. We'll talk about that in a minute. Following your specific plan for calories. Women, again, between 1150 and 1250. Men, between 14 and 1600. You've got eating a variety of lean proteins, which includes the plant proteins. You have eating green vegetables daily. Remember, green is good. Are you going caca daily? Daily, okay? That is a #1 goal on this program. We've got to get things moving. Are you going caca within 60 minutes after you wake up? That's your second goal when it comes to caca. Are you going twice daily for the ultimate fat release when it comes to caca? Okay? So I know some of you, when you started the program, you were saying, well, I'm only going once every 3 days. And now, ultimately, I want you going twice a day. So that may take a little bit of time to get, accustomed to, but that's your goal. And what have you prepared this week? On week 3, we talk about prepping. This is so important, okay? This is really should be one of your top goals, because I find in my own life that if I don't have something prepared, it's so much easier for me to grab something that I know I should not be eating, okay? So make sure you are prepping. And also figure out what is your area of focus this week, okay? So I had a lady that is doing our class, and she's doing all the proper foods, but she's not releasing as quick as she wants to. And so I had her to keep a food journal, and then we find out that she's only getting 60 grams of protein. So I told her the other day, your focus this week is get the protein in. Unfortunately, we're not here with you every single meal and everything that you eat throughout the day. So you're going to have to keep a food journal so that the coaches know what you are putting into your mouth, but you need to be able to get that protein in, okay? So everybody's got their own focus here. All right, so how are you going to meet these goals? This is really important. Your water. You need to make sure that you're getting half of your body weight in water in ounces on a daily basis. Okay, the plain, you can do plain water. You can flavor it with lemon or lime or some of the approved fruits. You could do the fruit infused water. All those count as 100% water. You can do the New Giving Greens. You can put that in your water. That counts as your water content. However, the tea and coffee do not count as water. I know there's water in it, but it does not count as your water intake, so be aware of that. There's Bai drinks, there's the Zevia, there's the Vitamin Water Zero drinks, things like that. Those are all approved drinks on the program, but I want to make sure that you are getting your water intake in first before you hit the specials, okay? So be aware of that. Some of you may prefer ice water. Some of you like room temperature water, and it all depends on you. As long as you're drinking water, I'm okay with it. You may find it's easier to drink with a straw versus having water in a cup and having to sip it all day. I find in my own life, if I have a straw, I will guzzle it. I love the straw that is attached to my water here because I've got a filter. I can take this anywhere I want, but it's got a straw. So I can drink this and drink this and drink this. I feel like a camel sometimes. But if you give me water in a cup, I sip it and I sip it and I sip it, and I just don't get enough in. So be aware of what you need to be able to get that water in. All right, so your quinoa. There's lots of different quinoa out there. There's white quinoa, there's tricolor quinoa. As long as it says quinoa on there, it is approved. Now, a lot of times you will find quinoa that has got rice in it. Rice and quinoa are not approved. Rice is not approved on the program at all, okay? So this you need to be getting 1 to 2 tablespoons on a daily basis, okay? Now, if you are like me, you don't want to have to fix this every day. So a lot of times I'll make a whole bunch of it and freeze it. Now, if I freeze it in one chunk and then I try to get 1 to 2 tablespoons out, I'm going to have to take my knife and chisel it and everything else. You don't want to have to do that, okay? So go ahead and measure that in like an ice cube tray or something, okay? Put in your ice cube trays, and then you can hide it, you can disguise it, you can put it in your soups and salads, you can put it in your eggs, you can put it in your shakes, however you need to do to be able to get your quinoa in, okay? So the quinoa, for the serving size of cooked quinoa, there are 6 grams of protein and there's 3 grams of fiber. So another way to get that protein and fiber in, you add that quinoa. There's a lot of health benefits to this. All right, you can do your coconut oil, okay? So we got 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil on a daily basis. Coconut oil is the only oil that we use on this program, okay? So the coconut oil actually helps you to release belly fat. Some of your healthier oils like the olive oil or the avocado oil, things like that, those are good for maintenance, but not to release, okay? Also, when you're cooking with the avocado oil and the olive oil, it changes the properties in it. I can cook with the coconut oil and it still be really healthy, okay? Now, when I'm doing my coconut oil, you have the refined and the unrefined coconut oil. Refined has been processed, okay? Both of them are approved on the program, but the unrefined coconut oil is the one with all the health benefits to it. So it works as a natural laxative, it helps with the immune system, it helps with your hair and your skin and your nails, and there's so many different health benefits to it. So that is the one I prefer that you go with. There's different ways to get your coconut oil in. You can put it in your shakes on a daily basis. I always have my shake with me. But you can put it in there, you can put it in the warm lemon water, you can just put it on a tablespoon and just swallow it. If you're absolutely about to gag because the thought of swallowing coconut oil, you just can't handle it, then put it in the PB2. Whatever you need to do to get it in, okay? That's the important thing, is are you getting it in? You do not need to count the calories to the first 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, okay? So those are freebies throughout the day. Anything beyond that, you do need to count the calories on the coconut oil. Sometimes I've been asked, can I spray my skillet with the coconut oil? Will that count for my 2 tablespoons? Or I'm going to add the coconut oil when I'm scrambling my eggs in the morning. Does that count? And I have to say no, because it's not measurable. Just because it's in that skillet doesn't mean that you actually took it in your body, okay? So my recommendation is, if you're cooking with it, just put the liquid coconut oil in a little spray bottle, spritz your skillet, and then take that way. If you're really trying to get the coconut oil in your body, and we're going to be measurable, then let's do some of these other ways that were just mentioned. Okay. So are you really getting all the protein and fiber in on a daily basis? Okay, so I hope you can see this. I'm going to read this out, okay? But this is a diagram of someone who had your salad, okay? So a lot of times I get that. Well, I had a salad for lunch. Okay, good job. Now let's look at that salad and see how much fiber you're getting in, okay? So in my salad, I've got 2 cups of lettuce, a half a cup of tomatoes, a half a cup of cucumbers, a half a cup of carrots, and a half a cup of onions. That sounds really healthy, okay? So out of that, I had a total of 7 grams of fiber, and that was it, okay? I had 2 grams of protein and a total of 80 calories, okay? Now let's watch what we can do to increase those amounts, okay? So to that salad, we added half a cup of black beans and a half a cup of avocados. And when we did that, it increased our total of fiber. It went from 7 to 20, okay? So I've only got 10 more grams of fiber today, and I've hit it. My protein went from 2 to, get this, 11, okay, in a salad. And then my calories went from 80 to 307. Okay, so that was one of those things that you looked at and you're going, oh, well, that's too many calories. But now let's look at the nutritional value. Remember, we went from 7 to 20 on our fiber. We went from 2 to 11 on our protein, and that was with a salad. Okay, so pay attention to what you're actually putting in there. Here's a protein quick reference here. So 4 ounces of chicken has no fiber in it. It has 26 grams of protein and 124 calories. So that would be really, that would be good to prep ahead, and you can have chicken for even your snacks if you're trying to get that extra protein in. For your egg, so 1 egg has no fiber in it. It has 6 grams of protein. It has 74 calories. Okay, that's why I love to eat eggs for breakfast, and I always put vegetables with it to add my fiber. All right, so 4 ounces of 93% ground beef has got 0 fiber, and it's got 24 grams of protein and 160 calories. Okay, again, a good choice. 6 ounce turkey burger has got no fiber, 36 grams of protein, and 266 calories. 6 ounce steak sirloin has got 4 grams of fiber, 39 grams of protein. All right, now we're really hitting it. And only 216 calories. That means I could go to a nice restaurant and order a steak, and I've got health benefits. Now, we're not getting into the sauces and stuff like that on the side, but let's just look at a nice grilled steak. Lots of good ones. All right, here's a good one. I like this one. 12 large shrimp. Okay, 12 large shrimp. That's going to fill you up. It only has 90 calories, but it has 24 grams of protein. That means if I am traveling, okay, and I didn't prep ahead of time, and there's all these fast food restaurants ahead of me, more than likely if there's a fast food restaurant, there's also a grocery store. So I could go into the grocery store and get a shrimp ring. You've seen those in the refrigerated section. I could have 12 of those, and I had 24 grams of protein for lunch, okay? And that's going to help me be filled up too. All right. So some vegetables are more complex than the others. Let's look at these. All right, so to really know if you're meeting your goals and not overindulging or not getting enough calories, you need to be journaling. Now, journaling is one of those things that you either love it or you hate it, okay? If you hate to journal, I recommend you take out your cell phone, because everybody's always got their cell phone with you. And as soon as you sit down to eat, you take a picture of it, okay? As soon as you drink that water, take a picture of it. Get in the habit. So even if you don't want to write it down immediately, you can go back and say, you know what, I did really good today. Or, ooh, you know what, maybe I didn't get enough protein. Maybe I didn't get enough fiber. It adds up throughout the day. You can do quick reference sheets. So pick your favorite foods. Typically, I bet all of us, whether we're on this program or not, even before this program, we were probably eating 15 to 20 of the same recipes all the time, okay? So get you a quick reference sheet and know how much you've had on a daily basis. You can simply Google it. You can Google apple in there, or put apple nutritional value, and it'll give you everything that you need. MyFitnessPal is probably one of my favorite apps. You don't have to buy it or anything. They have the free app, and you can put in your recipe and your serving size, and it will tell you immediately how much protein's in there, how many calories, how much sugar, how much fiber, all that. It's already listed, and then you can save that to your files, and so you can look back and say, oh, you know what, I'm doing really good, or I need to do some changes. So 3 cups of a salad is not even 1/3 of your daily goal. But when I start adding those beans and fiber, it adds the beans, it'll add the fiber and the protein like we just saw in the previous PowerPoint. Okay, this is the Giving Greens. This is something that your coaches have. This came out in, I guess it was November, December of 2018, and this has become one of my favorites. This is like a treat to me because this has got 2 pounds of vegetables in every scoop in it, okay? So only 22% of Americans actually get the necessary vegetables that they need on a daily basis. And when I started I put this in my water. A lot of people put this in their shake and it makes it creamier, but to me it's a treat because I love the flavor of green tea, and that's exactly what it tastes like to me. So here's some of the benefits to it. You get 2 pounds of vegetables in each serving. It supports your heart health, which is great. It fights free radicals. It aids in digestion. So a lot of people are not, their digestive system is just really hard. They start getting the vegetables in there that they need, and it aids with that, helps them there. It boosts your immunity. There's only 15 calories per serving, and you can drink it hot or cold. If you're drinking it hot, it needs to be basically about the temperature of like hot tap water. It needs to be below 114 degrees, so be aware of that. And like I said, you can put it in your Pure Nourish shakes. If you're interested in this one here has got 2 scoops as the serving size. So the serving size per package is 28. I actually do 1 scoop a day, and so this gives me 56 servings if I'm doing it that way, which means I'm only getting 1 pound of vegetables, but I'm eating lots of vegetables throughout the day also. So this package will last me for 2 months. Now, your coaches have this, and the retail value on it is $82.79, okay? So it's not cheap. If you have got your account, that goes down to $57.95. And so when I look at the $57.95 and I say, okay, this is going to last me for 56 days, okay? Because like I said, I'm doing 1 scoop a day, but this is basically $1 a day for 1 pound of vegetables. And there's no grocery store that I can go to where I can buy a pound of vegetables and actually eat it and know that it's not going to go bad or anything like that, and not have the health benefits like this one does. All right, so look at our vegetable quick reference here. So 1 cup of black beans has got 16 grams of fiber, 14 grams of protein, 220 calories. Okay, black beans is one of my favorites, and I love the fact that we can make the black bean cupcakes, things like that. So when I look at my foods, I've got to look at it and I say, okay, is this going to hurt me or is this going to heal me? If I have a black bean cupcake, it's going to help me, and I've got the health benefits to the protein and the fiber. Okay. 1 cup of broccoli has got 3 grams of fiber, 3 grams of protein, 62 calories. 1 cup of avocado. Everybody like their avocados? That's got 10 grams of fiber, 3 grams of protein, 234 calories. 1 cup of green beans, 4 grams of fiber, 2 grams of protein, 35 calories. 1 cup of collards has got 2 grams of fiber, 5 grams of protein, and 25 calories. And then 1 medium cucumber has got 2 grams of fiber, 2 grams of protein, and 20 calories. Who would have thought that a cucumber would have had any protein in it? Okay, it's amazing what these things do. So pick some of your favorite vegetables, pick some of your proteins, or even do a Google search. High protein foods, high fiber foods, and go down on that list and pick some of your very favorite ones out. As long as it's on the approved list, and most of them are. There's only a few that we take away. You're going to make a good decision with that. All right, so how do you figure out how much protein, fiber, sugar, and calories your food has in it? You would probably need to take, all right, let's say I have a recipe, and I'm going to show you this recipe right quick, but you're going to figure out per serving, okay? Let me go to this one. All right, so this is a bread recipe, This is called Not Your Average White Bread. And this is actually an approved recipe, so if you want to write this one down. But it has 3/4 cup of almond flour, 3/4 cup of golden flaxseed meal, 1 cup of arrowroot powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of pink sea salt, half a cup of plain Greek yogurt, 1 cup of egg whites. And you're just going to mix that up, cook it at 350 for about 45 minutes, okay? Now, when I want to find out my nutritional value to this recipe, this is what I need to do, all right? So 3/4 cup of almond flour all together in that serving size it's got 9 grams of fiber, it's got 18 grams of protein, it's got 480 calories, okay? Now I do the same thing with the flaxseed and the arrowroot, the baking soda. I go all the way down, and every time I'm figuring out how much protein, how much fiber, how much calories does this one item of ingredients have in it. Now my bread has got 12 servings. So then I'm going to take all those numbers and I'm going to take the total. So when I added all that up, my fiber actually had 34 grams of fiber total, okay? It had 68 grams of protein total. Calories, 1,525 grams of calories total, okay? So I'm going to divide this by 12 because in my loaf of bread, I have 12 servings. So I take all those numbers and I divide it by 12. So then it brings me down, for my serving size, it brings me down to 3 grams of fiber, 6 grams of protein, and 127 calories, okay? That sounds a lot better than the 1,525 calories, doesn't it? So you need to do that. And you do that with every single recipe. You really need to find out the serving size. And here's some of the typical sizes, all right? So an 8x8 pan is going to have 6 servings, or, now here's the kicker, if you're doing a dessert, it's 12 to 16 for desserts, okay? Because you don't need a large amount of desserts, okay? That needs to stay smaller. I like to take my desserts and I'll put them in the mini muffin pans, and so I just get a little bite. I just need that little bite when I've got a sweet tooth or something, and that covers me. You can do a 7x11, that's going to be 6 to 8 servings, or if you're doing desserts, that would be 10 to 12 servings for your desserts. If you did a 9x13, that would be 8 to 10 servings for that casserole, okay? So you're making up your whole casserole for tonight, and again, you're going to take all those recipes, or all the ingredients in the recipe, and then you're going to divide it by 8 to 10, depending on how many servings you want to make out of it. If you're doing a dessert out of a 9x13, it's 12 to 16 servings, okay? And then a pie pan is 12 to 16 servings. Be aware of that. When I made, I wanted to see how long this would last me, but last December, I made one of the approved cream cheese pound cakes. Delicious, okay? It's got the almond flour and everything. But I went ahead and I slivered it into the 16 slices, just like the pie pan said my serving sizes were, okay? And I went ahead and did that, and I put it in, wrapped it up, and actually put them in sandwich bags, and then I put all my little sandwich bags in a big freezer Ziploc bag. And so when I wanted it, then I could go back and get some. Now, if this pie was laying on my counter or in the Pure Sight, in my kitchen or something, I probably would have finished up that cake within the week, okay? But because I already had it served out and in my freezer, I didn't think about it. It was out of sight, out of mind. So that cake or the pie that I had made in December, I didn't actually finish it up until March because I forgot about it. And then one day I looked in, I'm like, oh, and it was like a nice little surprise. I had a little treat for me. So be aware of that and how you're cutting those servings. All right, so we've already talked about the food journal, but this is really important for your coaches especially, because when you come to the coach and you're frustrated, again, they don't know what you have had all throughout the week. You might be telling them that you're getting 100 grams of protein. You might tell them that you're getting the 30 grams of fiber, but we don't know. And if you don't write it down, even if you feel like you did the right thing, you need to write it down because your coach needs to look at it. We had a participant in class a few years ago, and thank goodness she kept a food journal. But she was coming to class, and she was doing really good. But then for about 3 weeks, she stopped releasing any weight whatsoever. And so we asked to see her food journal, and every day she was eating a cutie. Okay, so a cutie is those little mandarin oranges. They are not on the approved food list for fruits. She did not realize that. She had forgotten about it, and it was just a common mistake. It's okay. But what we did is we were able to look, because she kept that food journal, we were able to look on there and say, oh, what you doing with those cuties there? And we were able to take those out. And then that next week, because she had not eaten the cuties, because those were going to be higher on the glycemic index scales, her blood sugar was more balanced, and she was able to start releasing weight again. Again, none of us would have ever known that, except for the fact that she kept that journal, okay? Because she really did feel like she was eating all approved foods. So, all right, so it's never too late, it's never too early to work towards being the healthiest you. We are on week 5, and so we are getting really, really close to day 56 here. And I want to make sure that you're making the right decisions and that you're not cheating, because every time you cheat, it's going to delay your fat release by 3 days. It's not worth it, not especially when you've worked so hard. All right, so y'all have a great day. Make good decisions. We'll talk to you later.